Hi, I'm Daphne from Daps Makeup, and I'm excited to talk about the new fall collection from Hermes. Yes, I was one of the lucky few that was able to get it before the official release. I'm not even sure when this truly officially launched, particularly the eyeshadow palettes. They have started putting out the lipsticks, but in terms of the eyeshadow palette, believe it or not, what happened is, I don't know, for whatever reason, they actually were selling it in Macy's for like a day. One of my favorite content creators that I love to follow, Enamor Beauty, and if you're not already following her on Instagram and YouTube, please do follow her. She's good at like giving you heads up of deals and releases, and so she had posted that Macy's was selling it, and this was a palette that I was really excited for. So the minute I saw it, I jumped on it, bought it, and literally that same day, boom, out of stock. And not just out of stock, they stopped selling it. And so that's why I didn't even bother to bring it up to my community page, because as soon as I bought it, boom, it was gone. And then during the recent sale, I did post that they did the lipsticks, but also boom, like within a day, gone. Now, I believe you can get the lipsticks currently on Hermes' website. I'll double check if the eyeshadow palette is out yet. I don't know. But eventually they're going to be, fully released. And, because usually you're able to not only get it from Hermes, but like from other department stores like Nordstrom or Saks. So I'm sure as we get closer to the fall season, you'll be able to get it. But until then, I'm just so excited that I was actually one of the lucky ones to get it. It is the new fall palette Optiques from Hermes. I'll take off the covering. If you haven't already seen my shorts, I'll show you, what it looked like when it was pristine. I have been using it. I am on, I think, my 6th eye look. Yes, if you've been following me on Instagram, I have been posting all week long a different eye look with this palette. I've been having so much fun creating new eye looks. I know some people might be intimidated by this color story, but for me personally, it actually excited me. Very few luxury brands will give you bold colors, the unorthodox colors, not your basic browns and pinks, but to have some really pigmented and interesting shades truly excites me. So obviously, this video is going to be mainly focused on the eyeshadow, but just to get out of the way, the other products that are part of this fall collection. So there are, I believe, 3 lipsticks. I did not get any of them. I'll show you on screen what they look like. Hermes always has these like limited edition lipsticks that come in fun lipstick cases, and these are cute, they are fun, but the lipstick shades did not really call to me, and these are not cheap. These are really expensive lipsticks, so I am really selective of what lipstick I get for them. To be honest, actually today what I have on my lips isn't Hermes lipstick, but it's an old limited edition lipstick. And don't you think, look at the packaging. I know I shouldn't even be bringing this up, but like, don't tell me that this wasn't meant to go with this palette. So the colors are great, and that's what's on my lips now. Obviously this is not like a matte formula or anything. It's a very sheer formula, but I love it. You can see how much I love it. I'm almost done with it. I'll probably cry when this is gone, but so be it. But hey, if you're gonna pay this amount of money, you want to pay, be really using it, not just for show. But just so you know what Hermes lipsticks look like, they always have the beautiful logo at the end, magnetic closures, and just always has some fun, unique color blocking or fun patterns to their lipstick. So they're really expensive, but I think it's nice to have 1 or 2 of them whenever you find a shade that really calls to you, a case that really calls to you. I think it's worth getting it, but this time it was a pass for me. Also, they are re-promoting a couple of nail polishes. So these are not new. These have been around. They're part of the permanent collection. So don't feel like, oh my God, like if I don't get this nail polish now, because once again, these are not cheap. So you have time to get them. To be honest, so I ended up getting the green one that, okay, I'm gonna say it wrong, so I'll put down the name over here. But I got this green nail polish. To be honest, I have had this nail polish on my wish list since it came out like a year or 2 years ago. Always had my wish list, but I just never got around to getting it. These things are not cheap. And so I like to build up my Nordstrom notes, which I did for this one. Cause like this is like $60, which is obviously a lot. But I used like $30 Nordstrom note, and I returned a bag that was like for $35. So in my mind, girl math, I got this for free, right? Right. You agree with me. I know you do. So this is what the bottle looks like. So obviously you are paying for the packaging. So it has the same gold logo there. The box, I don't have it in front of me, but I'll tell you, it's kind of like, it's very similar to the box that's used for the eyeshadow case. I'll show you video as well, but where you have an outside white carton with you have the slit of the orange. When you remove it, you'll have the orange box carton with the Hermes cut, and then it'll have its own sleeve, and it's the same for the nail polish. So it's a lot of money. They do step it up with the packaging. It's excessive. Is it necessary? No. But is the color gorgeous? Yes. I absolutely love this color. I love it's beautiful after 1 to 2 coats. Like I said, I'm not gonna be like, oh my god, the formula is so great that like that, as if drugstore nail polishers can't do the job. You can buy drugstore nail polish, and I'm sure you can find this shade probably. Luxury nail polishes are my thing, and I absolutely love it. But if luxury nail polishes are your thing, I do think this is a great color, great for the fall, and just this kind of tone. I love it. Yeah. Let's talk about the star of the show. This eyeshadow palette that I hope comes out soon. But here is a preview of what it looks like. Like I said, on Instagram, I've already posted 6 looks, so I will have a demo video of today's look, but let's quickly go over the looks that I've done. I'll show you the demo video, and as I'm going through everything, I'm gonna let you know what I think of the formula of these shadows, and end with my overall opinion. And be aware, I'll probably be looking down from time to time at my phone as I go through the looks that I did. So the first look that you'll be seeing, I started off, I wanted to make sure that I used all 4 shades for the first look. This was a very soft look overall, despite using all the shades. So I believe in this one, in my transition, I used the purple. I might have initially even put a brown matte first and then put the purple, but I put the purple in my transition. I put the gray on my lid. I put a whisper of the green on the outer V, and then the gold in the inner corner. And I just did a very soft wash. It was a beautiful soft wash of color, and it was just a nice way to just start off. So for my second look, like I said, the first look, I gave a little hint of the green, but the second look, I was like, I'm going all in with the green. And because the green, I'm going to tell you right now, this shadow is the most pigmented of the 4. So this is one you be careful, beware when you're using it. But I love that it's so pigmented. So for this look, I wanted the green to show out. So I did a halo look. So I did the green on both the inner and outer corners. I put the gold this time on the middle of the lid because I wanted the gold to really show out. In my transition, I used the gray. Now, initially, I wasn't sure how pigmented the gray was, scared, I didn't want the gray to look too gray. So on this one, I did initially put a brown matte first, and then I went deep into my crease with the gray. The gray is not as pigmented as the green, which is actually not a bad thing. It's buildable. Because gray can go, left, and you don't want to look casket ready. So I actually appreciate that I could build up the gray. So let me know going forward, I didn't have to be scared of it. But yeah, I put the gray in the transition, and I even put it on the lower lash line. And I loved how the gray played with the green and the yellow shades. So by the time I got to the third look, I was feeling more confident about the gray. I was like, okay, I don't need to hide behind a brown matte. I went straight in with the gray. shade in my transition. Then I went in with the purple shade in deep in my crease, and I love the combination of the gray and the purple. They actually blended well together, and that was nice to see that I could really blend both of them together with no problems. Then I actually put the gray back again on my lid, and then I took the gold this time, not only just putting in the inner corner, but then I tapped it on my finger and I used it as topper, and it worked beautifully. So instead of having a flat matte gray on my lid, it made it look like a satin and gave a golden shimmer to it. And it was great to see with the gold, not only can you really show out with it on the lid and the inner corner, but you can also use it as a topper shade. So it's a standalone shimmer, but it also works excellent as a topper shade. I've also used it on top of other eyeshadows that are not Hermes, and it works beautifully. For my next look, I focused on the purple shade, and this might seem like a very simple look, but it was great opportunity to see the versatility of the purple shade. So I went into the purple shade in my transition, and it blended beautifully on its own, no brown matte. And what I loved about it is that it blended beautifully into my skin. It didn't come off shiny or anything like that. It almost looked like a purple brown tone matte on my skin. It wasn't like scary purple or anything. And then when I went on the lid, it came out as the true purple, and it gave good shine. It acted like a metallic. So it was great that in my transition, it worked like a matte, but on my lid, it worked like a metallic. And so this shade will work great as a one and done. And I certainly could have just left it there. Me being extra. Of course, what did I do? I put a little bit of gold in my inner corner, and then I used the green as liner on the lid just to give a little subtle touch. I wanted the purple to really be the focus of the look, but I snuck in a little bit of the green and the yellow. But yeah, know that the purple works great both as a matte. It will blend beautifully without putting shimmer in your transition, but you can then lay it on thick on the lid and you will get that metallic shine, which is beautiful. For look number 5, this is probably one of my favorite looks. This was like, okay, now I want to go bold. I'm going all in with these colors. So for this look, I went in gray with the transition. I went purple on the first half of my lid, went green on the second half of the lid, gold in the inner corner. On the lower lash line, I used Victoria Beckham's Surfside eyeliner, which was a perfect match to the green matte. This was fun to do, a really bold look. Just all go out for it. I was feeling myself when I did that look. So that was really cool. So as you can see, you can create soft looks or you can create bold looks. And I love the versatility of this palette. And so for this look, you're gonna get a demo video, but I'll get a little closer so you can see what I did here. And for this look, I wanted to use all the shades so that I could use it for you. You know, when I was doing the look, I wasn't quite sure what I was gonna do because I wanted it to be like different from the other looks. But you're gonna see in my transition, I go in the gray, then the purple, then the green, and I love how all three, it's a beautiful gradient from gray to purple to green, and it just blends beautifully. Gold on my inner half, purple on my outer half, and I just love this look. So check out the demo videos, see these shadows in action, and I'll give you my final thoughts. All right, so believe it or not, this is gonna be my 6th eye look that I'm gonna do with this palette, but the first one I'm gonna do on camera. So with each look, I try to just do something different, unique combination. We'll see how this turns out because everything's kind of on the fly. Here we go. bit of green liner in the lower lash line, and I'm just adding more of the purple underneath just to connect the look. I'm gonna put some liquid eyeliner and mascara and go off camera to finish off the look. All right, here is the final look. Like I said, off camera, I put lashes, liner. On my cheeks, I have the Valentino blush. It's a darker shade, number 11 on my cheeks. Highlighters, Pat McGrath Golden Nectar, good old favorite. On my lips, I brought out Hermes. Even though I didn't buy the lipsticks that come with it, I just think this color goes with it. And doesn't the packaging go with this perfectly? So I had to do that. Bronzer is the new Farrah Homidi. Sorry, my lighting is not the usual lighting I use. My light blew out. So there's minimal lighting going on, but I guess now you have a more natural light view of the side look. I'm gonna get closer so you can see the eye look. This is what it is, essentially in natural lighting. I think it's beautiful having the gradient of the gray to purple to green and the transition gold and purple on the lid. I'm loving this look. I'll try to give you some other pictures so you can see this look in better lighting, but this is it in natural lighting. All right, let's get together and talk. All right, I hope you found that demo video helpful. It should be obvious by now that, like, yes, I love this palette. And I know it's expensive. These eyeshadow Hermes makeup products are really expensive. I was gonna say that they're probably like the most expensive in the market, but we already know who just dropped LV. We'll talk about that on another video. But you know, Hermes is really expensive. You know, and I usually, like, I'll be honest, usually what I do is I save up my Nordstrom notes so I don't pay anything full price. I try to, as much as possible, see, can I save up to get half off, that kind of thing. This one, I actually went full price. I didn't want to wait. I jumped on it when Macy's dropped it, and I have zero regrets. I love Hermes Beauty. I think they're very unique. You know, compared to a lot of brands, they give you really pigmented shades. They give you some color stories that are not the mundane and the usual color stories, and I appreciate this. I get inspired to use, when I get an Hermes palette, I am inspired to do looks. Like, I did 6 and I had fun doing it. You know, at times, you know, I'll get a palette and I'll do it for you guys and I'll do a couple of looks, and then it's like, okay, it's those 2 or 3 looks and that's it, and that's all I can think of. With this one, you know, like, I did these 6 and I still want to play with this palette. Like, I'm not bored yet, and it's just, it always inspires me to do more. But to let you guys know, I highly recommend the palette. Like I said, the nail polish you do not have to run to get. It's permanent. You know, generally I do like Hermes lipsticks, so if they call to you, go for it, I guess. But I think obviously the star is definitely the eyeshadow palette. Highly recommend. But thank you for watching. If you made it this far and you're not already subscribed to my channel, consider subscribing to my channel. And if you aren't already following me on Instagram, you should definitely be following me there, because that is where I'm the most active. I post there first prior to coming here, so you will get to see swatches and makeup looks even before I post my videos here on YouTube. But until then, I wish you guys a great day. You know, I'll show you what's next that comes into my collection. But yeah, have a fantastic day. Bye.